Chapter 1: The Unexpected Encounter. Lila had always found comfort in her routines. Every morning, she woke up at 6:30 sharp, her body attuned to the rhythm of her alarm clock. She would stretch luxuriously in her bed, listening to the faint sounds of the city coming to life outside her window. The scent of freshly brewed coffee soon filled her small apartment, mingling with the crisp, cool air of early autumn that wafted in through a slightly open window. After her coffee ritual, Lila slipped into her well-worn running shoes and headed out for her daily walk. The park near her apartment was a cherished refuge, a green oasis amidst the concrete and noise of the city. It was a place where she could lose herself in her thoughts, find solace in the rustling leaves, and observe the small dramas of everyday life unfolding around her. One particularly crisp autumn morning, the kind where the air was filled with the smell of fallen leaves and a hint of impending winter, Lila noticed a new face among the familiar joggers and dog walkers. A girl around her age sat on a weathered bench, her nose buried in a sketchbook. Her brow was furrowed in intense concentration, her pencil moving swiftly and decisively across the page. Lila's curiosity was piqued. She slowed her pace, pretending to tie her shoelaces to get a better look. The girl was sketching a majestic oak tree, its branches stretching wide and its leaves in a riot of autumn colors. The sketch was stunning, capturing the essence of the tree with a precision and depth that amazed Lila. Unable to suppress her curiosity, Lila approached the bench. "That's a beautiful drawing," she said, hoping she didn't sound too awkward. The girl looked up, her eyes wide with surprise. Her dark hair framed a face that was both delicate and strong, with eyes that seemed to hold a world of stories. "Oh, thank you. I'm Emma," she replied, offering a shy smile. "I'm Lila. Do you come here often?" Lila asked, sitting down at the opposite end of the bench, giving Emma space, but eager to know more about her. "Not really. I just moved to the city last week," Emma explained. "I love drawing, and this park seemed like a perfect place to start." Lila felt a thrill of excitement at the prospect of a new friendship. "Welcome to the city. It's a great place once you get used to it. What brought you here?" Emma hesitated, her eyes dropping to her sketchbook. "I needed a change," she said softly. "Things were complicated back home. I wanted a fresh start, a place where I could be myself." Lila nodded, sensing there was more to the story but not wanting to press. "Well, you've picked a beautiful spot to start over," she said. "This park has been my sanctuary since I moved here 2 years ago. If you ever need someone to show you around, I'd be happy to." Emma's smile widened, her eyes reflecting a glimmer of hope. "I'd like that, Lila." "Thank you." From that day on, Lila and Emma's paths began to cross regularly. Their initial conversations were tentative and polite, as they navigated the awkwardness of new acquaintance. Lila discovered that Emma had a quick wit and a deep appreciation for the small, simple joys of life, much like herself. Emma learned that Lila had a gentle spirit and a knack for finding beauty in the mundane. They began meeting at the park almost every day, sitting on the same bench and talking for hours. Emma showed Lila her sketches, and Lila shared her love for literature, recommending books and discussing their favorite authors. Their friendship blossomed naturally, each encounter strengthening their bond. One sunny afternoon, as they strolled through the park with the golden light of the setting sun casting long shadows, Lila suggested they grab a coffee at her favorite cafe. Emma agreed, and they walked to a small, cozy coffee shop tucked away on a quiet street. The shop had a warm, inviting atmosphere, with shelves lined with books and walls adorned with local artwork. As they sipped their coffee, Emma began to relax, the tension that Lila had noticed in her shoulders slowly melting away. "This place is wonderful," Emma said, looking around with a contented sigh. "It's one of my favorite spots," Lila replied. "I come here whenever I need to unwind." Over the next few weeks, their friendship deepened. Lila introduced Emma to the city's hidden gems, the best bookstores, the quietest corners of the park, the quaint little bakery with the most delicious pastries. In return, Emma taught Lila how to sketch, sharing her passion for capturing the world on paper. One evening, after a particularly satisfying drawing session under the oak tree, Emma confided in Lila about her move to the city. They were sitting on their favorite bench, the sky painted in hues of orange and pink as the sun dipped below the horizon. "I came here for a fresh start," Emma admitted, her voice tinged with a mix of relief and sadness. "Things were complicated back home. I needed a change, a place where I could be myself without the weight of my past." Lila listened intently, sensing the vulnerability behind Emma's words. "I'm glad you chose this city," she said softly. "And I'm glad we met." Emma smiled, her eyes reflecting the golden hue of the setting sun. "Me too, Lila. Me too." As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Lila and Emma's friendship became a cornerstone of their lives. They supported each other through their ups and downs, finding solace in their shared moments of laughter and reflection. The park, once a place of solitude for Lila, had become a symbol of their enduring bond. One crisp winter morning, as they walked through the park bundled in warm coats and scarves, Emma turned to Lila with a thoughtful expression. "Do you ever think about how random it was, meeting here?" Lila smiled, her breath visible in the cold air. "It's funny how life works sometimes. One moment you're alone, and the next, you meet someone who changes everything." Emma nodded, her eyes sparkling. "I'm grateful for that moment." "For you." Lila felt a warmth spread through her, despite the chill in the air. "Me too, Emma. Me too." And so, in the heart of the bustling city, amidst the ever-changing seasons, a friendship had blossomed, unexpected yet deeply cherished, built on shared passions, mutual respect, and the simple, profound joy of being understood. Chapter 2: The Test of Friendship. Winter arrived, bringing with it a blanket of snow that transformed the park into a wonderland. The once green expanse was now a dazzling white landscape, where the familiar paths were hidden under soft snowdrifts and the trees wore coats of frost. Lila and Emma continued their routine, undeterred by the cold. They found warmth in their growing friendship, often meeting at Lila's apartment for hot chocolate and movie nights, laughing and talking late into the evening. One particularly harsh winter evening, with the wind howling outside and snow piling up against the windows, there was an unexpected knock on Lila's door. She opened it to find Emma standing there, her face pale and eyes red-rimmed from crying. "Can I come in?" Emma asked, her voice trembling. "Of course," Lila replied, quickly ushering her inside and wrapping a blanket around her shoulders. "What happened?" Emma took a deep breath, her hands shaking as she tried to compose herself. "I got a call from my mother." My father is really sick. I need to go back home for a while. Lila's heart sank. She knew how much Emma had struggled to find her place in the city, and the thought of her returning to a place filled with painful memories was distressing. "How long will you be gone?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "I don't know," Emma admitted. "It could be weeks, maybe even months." "I'm scared, Lila. Scared of what I'll find when I get there, and scared of losing everything I've built here." Lila took Emma's hands in hers, squeezing them gently. "You won't lose anything. We'll keep in touch every day. And when you're ready, you'll come back. I'll be here, waiting for you." Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Lila. You don't know how much that means to me." The following weeks were difficult for both of them. Emma's absence left a void in Lila's daily life, and the worry about her friend's well-being weighed heavily on her mind. They texted and video called as often as they could, but it wasn't the same. Lila missed their walks, their talks, and the comfort of Emma's presence. Emma's journey back home was fraught with emotion. Her hometown was a place of mixed memories, filled with both love and pain. The house she grew up in had once been a place of warmth and laughter, but in recent years, it had become a shadow of its former self. Her father's illness had cast a long shadow over her family, and returning meant confronting those shadows head-on. Despite the challenges, Emma tried to remain hopeful. Her father's condition was serious, but there were moments of clarity and connection that made the struggle worthwhile. She spent her days helping around the house, visiting doctors, and offering her mother support. Yet, in the quiet moments, she found herself missing the city, missing the freedom and the new life she had begun to build, and most of all, missing Lila. Meanwhile, in the city, Lila threw herself into her routines to cope with the loneliness. She walked through the snowy park every morning, their bench by the oak tree now a poignant reminder of Emma's absence. She frequented the coffee shops they used to visit, always hoping to see Emma's familiar face among the crowd. The city seemed a little less vibrant without her friend. One bright spring morning, as Lila strolled through the park, she received a message from Emma, "I'm coming back. Can we meet at our bench?" Lila's heart leapt with joy. She rushed to their spot by the oak tree, her mind racing with excitement. When Emma finally appeared, looking tired but hopeful, Lila ran to embrace her. "I missed you so much," Lila whispered, tears of happiness streaming down her face. "I missed you too," Emma replied, holding her friend tightly. "Thank you for being there for me, even from afar. You're my rock, Lila." "And you're mine," Lila said, smiling through her tears. "Welcome home, Emma." As they sat together on the bench, the world around them bursting into vibrant spring colors, Lila realized that their friendship had not only survived the test of distance and hardship but had grown stronger because of it. They had found each other in an unexpected encounter, and now, nothing could break the bond they shared. Their reunion was filled with stories and laughter, each eager to catch up on the time they had spent apart. Emma shared the struggles and small victories of her time back home, the difficult conversations with her family, and the moments of solace she found in her art. She had continued to draw, using her sketches as a way to process her emotions and maintain a sense of connection to the life she had started in the city. Lila listened intently, her heart aching for the pain Emma had endured, but also swelling with pride at her friend's resilience. She shared her own experiences, the emptiness she felt without Emma, and the joy she now felt with her return. As the days grew warmer and the park became a riot of spring blossoms, Lila and Emma resumed their routine. They spent their mornings walking through the park, their afternoons exploring new corners of the city, and their evenings in Lila's apartment, sipping hot chocolate and watching movies. Their friendship, tested by distance and adversity, had emerged stronger and more profound. One evening, as they sat on the balcony of Lila's apartment, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of pink and orange, Emma turned to Lila with a thoughtful expression. "You know, I've realized something during this whole experience," she said, her voice soft but steady. "What's that?" Lila asked, turning to look at her friend. "No matter how far apart we are, or how difficult things get, our friendship is unbreakable," Emma said, her eyes reflecting the colors of the setting sun. "You were there for me when I needed you the most, and that means everything to me." Lila felt a lump in her throat, her eyes welling up with tears. "I feel the same way, Emma. You're not just a friend to me, you're like family. And nothing will ever change that." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the city, Lila and Emma sat in companionable silence, their bond strengthened by the trials they had faced together. They knew that whatever the future held, they would face it side by side, their friendship a beacon of light in an ever-changing world.